For breakfast, I'm starting with a fruit salad as I love starting the day with something fresh that makes me feel amazing. I also love to do this first thing in the morning, and that means I can have a quick and easy snack later on whenever I get hungry. And for today's selection, I'm doing one of my favorite combos, which is apple, strawberries, orange, banana and kiwi. So I'm chopping up all the fruits in small pieces, and then I found some grapes as well, so I thought I'd add them in too. And yes, I'm being extra and chopping up the grapes too. Once I chopped everything up, I added them to a bowl and gave it a mix, and then I like to add some raspberries at the end, just because they're a bit softer and they can get squeezed easier. So I like to throw them in at the end. And my fruit salad is ready, so I'm serving some in a little bowl. And for my main breakfast, I've been obsessed with bagels recently, so I'm toasting one up and then topping with some hummus. And then I topped with some fresh rocket and some hemp seeds. And that was a very quick but such yummy breakfast. I just love hummus toast. And of course I'm having a cappuccino too and topping with lots of chocolate on top, as let's face it, that's the best part. And then for lunch I was craving something fresh, so I'm meal prepping some salads and a frittata to have not only for today but for the rest of the week. We're starting with the pasta salad, so I'm boiling some pasta in some salted water, and while they're boiling I'm prepping my vegetables. I'm doing a couple of peppers, so I'm slicing them up in thin slices, and then for herbs, I had some parsley in the house, so chopping that up finely too. I also found these sun-dried tomatoes in my pantry, so I'm adding some and chopping them up in small pieces. And once the pasta was cooked and cooled, I added all the vegetables in the same bowl and also added some mozzarella in cubes. I added some olive oil and red wine vinegar and gave it a good mix, and our pasta salad is ready. Next up, we're making a curried potato salad. I started by chopping up a few potatoes in medium-sized pieces and adding them to a bowl. I added some olive oil and seasoned with salt, and then for seasonings I added about 2 tablespoons of curry powder. I gave it a good mix, and yes, I should have used a bigger bowl for this. I then emptied the potatoes in a baking pan, spread them out and put them in a preheated oven to bake. I also chopped an onion in slices and added it in a pan after the potatoes have had about 20 minutes in the oven. I then added them back in the oven for another 20 minutes or until they're fully cooked. I added them in a bowl and added some spring onions and some fresh coriander. I gave it a good mix and our potato salad is ready. And now on to making our frittata. I started by chopping up a bunch of mushrooms and I added a bit of olive oil in my non-stick pan. I added them in, seasoned with salt and pepper, and let them cook through. And while they're cooking, I'm also chopping some spring onions in small pieces. And now my mushrooms are ready, so I'm just prepping my egg mixture. I cracked about 10 eggs in a big bowl, seasoned with salt and pepper, and added a splash of milk. I then whisked it well. I added my cheese and it was a clear of the fridge kind of situation, so I just used whatever was layering around, so feel free to add whatever you have and like. I gave it another stir and then added my spring onions and cooked mushrooms. I mixed them around and then added some olive oil to a pan and spread it around with my hands. I emptied the frittata mixture in the pan and put it in a preheated oven to bake until fully cooked. Mine took about 50 minutes. And now everything is ready, so I'm serving some rocket on my bowl. I then added some of the potato salad and then some of the pasta salad. I also had some leftovers from the day before, so I added some of those in, as I love to have a variety of salads and it makes it much more interesting. Lastly, I added a piece of the frittata and lunch was ready. So hungry and so excited, this looks amazing. So good, honestly. It's so fresh. And you can put any kind of herb. Basil would also work, but I only had parsley. Any kind of herb, it just gives it so much freshness and flavor. I also put some random leftovers from yesterday because I thought, why not? Don't want to waste them. The recipe is from Deliciously Ella. It's the sweet potato black bean bowl. Let's try the potato salad. Yes. Are so delicious. I've never made curried potatoes before, but they were very easy, as you saw, and they taste amazing. Very cheesy frittata out of the oven, so it's very hot. Probably gonna burn myself, as always. It's cheesy. Oh, it's so good. I know I've put a lot of cheese, but that gives it the flavor, and you know I love cheese, so this kind of meal makes me excited to eat healthy, because it's healthy, but it's not like too healthy where it's just lettuce. It's like it has exciting stuff in it. I'm gonna go enjoy, but yeah, make them.
And you know me, I always need a sweet treat for the week, so this week I prepped these oat and berry crumble bars, which were so good. I started by making a homemade jam, so I added some frozen berries in my pan, added a tablespoon of chia seeds, and then about a tablespoon of honey. I then let it simmer until it was thick like a jam, about 20 minutes. And while my jam is being cooked, I'm prepping the oat base. I added some oats, oat flour, brown sugar, and all-purpose flour in a big bowl. I seasoned with salt and gave it a good mix. I then added some melted coconut oil, some orange juice, and some vanilla extract. I mixed it well to make sure everything's combined. I emptied about 3/4 of the oat base on the bottom and pushed it with my hand so it can get even. I then topped with the berry jam and spread it around evenly. Finally, I topped with little bits of the oat mixture, just like a crumble. I baked it in a preheated oven for about 35 minutes and my oat bars were ready. I let them cool for a bit and then cut them in medium-sized pieces and enjoyed throughout the week, although to be honest, everyone loved them, so they only lasted about 2 days.
It's so good, it feels so wholesome. You can definitely taste the coconut oil. And I think maybe next time I will actually add some shredded coconut. Oh my god, shredded coconut instead of the jam. You do some chocolate as well. It's like a bounty. Let me know in the comments if you like bounty, because I thought everyone liked bounty, but I don't know how you can hate a bounty. It's one of my favorite chocolates. It's so good. I'm salivating. I'm gonna go enjoy the whole thing. Probably some more.
For dinner, we're prepping one of our go-to meals, which is curry tofu. And it's not really a meal, more than a meal element, which makes life so much easier, as it's great to add to salads, wraps, or even have with some simple carbs like rice or potatoes. I chopped a few tofu cubes in slices, and then I grabbed a shallow bowl and added some soy sauce on it. And then to a separate bowl, I have my seasoning, which is basically a blend of nutritional yeast and curry powder. I dipped the tofu slices in the soy sauce first, coated them in the sauce on both sides, and then added them to a bowl with the seasoning. I coated the tofu slices in the seasoning and then added them to the pan. I did the same with the rest of the slices, and then any leftover soy sauce I added on top. I baked it in a preheated oven for about 30 minutes, but after 15 minutes I like to take the tofu out and flip them to make sure they get crispy on both sides. And now on to making my dinner. I added a seeded tortilla on my plate and topped with some hummus. I spread it around and then added some rocket. And for my protein, I'm using the meal prep tofu, so I'm adding a few slices on top. I also added some shredded carrot and then crumbled some feta. And I'm finishing with some of this perinase, which makes everything taste 100 times better. I wrapped it up and that was dinner. Super quick to make, but so delicious. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click like and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye!